Hello, my name is Marcus and welcome to Tabletop Reviews, where today I'm having a look at, you can't see it because I have this on, which doesn't quite fit but still does the job, Trails. This is of course it's not quite pocket version, but it's the small box version of Pox, which is quite a bit smaller, but still up to 4 players, incredibly enough. But of course that all comes later. Right now we need to put it on the table and see how it's set up and how it's played. Alright, I'm gonna do the setup for Trails now. Let's try and see if I can do it without my cat moving right there. I'm just taking the box out here. Got a bunch of cats and she's moving around. Alright, so we have the setup here. We have a starting player trail right here. You might notice in the bottom I have 2 to 3 players and of course 4 player. I'm just going to do the two player setup here. So this is going to go here. You have this as well. This is the end trail, and again down here you can see 2 player, and of course you will have 3 to 4 player. So 2 player over here, and you can just kind of shuffle these up and put them in. It's very important that it's the light side, not the dark side of these ones that come in, and you just put them in a random order here. Oh, that was missing one in the box. So this is the random order that it come in. And then you have the sun on the first spot right here. Getting ready. You can sort of put these resources, it's just cubes, to the matching ones. The grey ones are rock, the reddish brown ones are acorns, and the green ones are leaves. And of course you can take your hiker, whichever hiker you want to use, place them in the middle there already, and each player of course then gets a canteen matching their freaking color. Let's grab the cards here. Speaking very low because I don't want to scare her. Where do you want her to stay? I don't want to scare away from her sleeping spot just because I'm here. Oh, hold on, I need to have the handful of cards here, but they are 2 different kinds of cards and I just need to get them separated real quick here. There we go. Alright, so you have the cards of this back right here. It's a trail card, so you mix those up. Each player gets 1, so just put it in the canteen, just so you can see it here. Each player gets 1 card, and then each of these areas will have 2 cards put on it. And you can either have the pile here in the middle, and I'm just gonna go, hello little sweet one, hello. I think she's very annoyed that I decided to record right now. These cards here, you can also shove those up. Those are, so to speak, picture cards. And get onto that in just a second. You have the bear here. The bear doesn't start anywhere, it only gets into play when you get here the first time. Let's get over this. So in this game you can move upwards of 2 spaces. So it's 1 or 2. And each space you land on of course gives you something. This one gives you rock, acorn and leaf down here. This one lets you trade 1 resource to 2 of another resource. Pretty decent. And this last one down here allows you to trade 1 resource to take a picture. When you take a picture, you draw up 2 and you select whichever one you want. These ones are identical, but you choose the one that you want. The other one is in a discard pile and you kind of resolve that if necessary. When you get to the end here, this is the very important one. First of all, you have the bear. You get to use the bear, you get to roll the die. It lands on the leaf, so the bear lands on the leaf and you're allowed to take the action of the leaf. The other thing that happens is that the sun goes downwards. Which means, of course, when it passes an area, like for example, let's say it passed over here, you get to flip that area around. And now you don't have to trade a resource, you just get to take a picture. And this of course happens all the way down. Each one with the resources, you just get 2 resources instead of 1. To trade 1 here, you get to trade 1 to 1 each of the other resources. So if you trade rock, you get a acorn and a leaf. Then when it gets to the end here, you get to do the bear action, and right at the end, the last player gets to take an extra picture and the game is over. This only happens when you reach this one. If you reach this one, something different happens. But first of all, when you're down here, you also get to purchase cards. You can either purchase these 2 cards over here, on the card, on hand, of course. You just pay the cost that is right here, and that's it. Now some of them score extra. For example, this one gives you 1 point per leaf card, which is identified up here. There is another leaf card over here. This would be an example of that. It's a leaf card. Others, like this one, gives you points and allows you to quickly do an action. This trade 1 reinforced to 2. This action, for example, is take a picture. And this one is pretty decent. You earn an extra badge, which is what these are called. So you could take this one and you could earn this one on top of that. Of course, paying their costs. Now, what happens when you're over here? Well, you get to refill your canteen. What happens when you empty it? You empty it out and you get to move as far as you want. This direction or this direction. When you then reach back here, you refill it. Yeah. So, basically, and then at the end, well, whoever has the most amount of points, of course, win. Now there is one bonus, which I'm going to show you. Bird symbols right here. Whoever has the most amount of bird symbols gets this little 4-point token to symbolize that. Count the points. Whoever has the most amount of points win. Very simple game, very lovely game. Let's get back to the table. Of course, I forgot to mention that when the bear is here and you land on that symbol, you also get to roll the dice. You kind of take the bear action as well. Yeah, just an extra thing I forgot. And there you have it. That is the setup and the gameplay of Trails or Trials. No, it is of course Trails. You are walking trails of the American wilderness, which is absolutely fine. I would love an expansion or something for parks, or for this one, which takes national parks of other countries. I know that at least Germany has some wonderful ones, and also going into, for example, Australia or something. They have beautiful, beautiful places all over the world, which I would love to see in an expansion for parks. Or something. But for now we're talking about Trails. So Trails is definitely a parks game. You know, you can feel the essence of parks in this one as you're moving. This time only one hiker across this map here to collect resources, to this time purchase equipment / badges. Yeah. I can't remember what they call the cards, but that's always observe wildlife and earn wilderness badges. Yeah, these cards that you purchase up, and of course with the possibility of taking a picture once in a while to get enough birds to then score bonus points. Of course. But I like it. I like parks in the way you move your little marker ahead. Trails is, of course, limiting your movement a little bit, but not that much, which is absolutely fine. There's fewer spots to land on, but that doesn't do anything because this is supposed to be a faster game than regular parks. So yeah, the gameplay of moving over is good. I find the cards don't cost too much in resources and stuff. You could easily have made these cards could have easily become more expensive and too expensive, and you feel like you do nothing. The cards is in a good price, and you purchase a card almost every time you go across. Both the card you have in secret, and of course the cards that are publicly available. And I really like that. That is a good thing that they are affordable, and you purchase some almost every time you go across, which means that doesn't go many of your turns without you purchasing something. That is very good. Of course, this is also changed up in the way that there isn't really a turn order, so to speak, like in parks where you go over and then you reset. In this one you just go back and forth. Which is a difference. I don't see it as a bad difference. I can tell you that my wife doesn't like that. She likes the turn structure and that you sort of reset. So she prefers parks over trails because of that. So that's a little addition from the family. But personally, I do. And let's collect my thoughts here. Personally, I do like that. It changes up a little bit. You can be turns ahead of yourself. You can decide how much you want to walk and move over, depending on what resources you need, how much you want to do, and of course how fast you want the game to end. Because the game ends once the sun token has gone to the other side, and the more you hit that last end, the faster the sun goes over. I do like that. It is an easy visual of when is the game going to end. It allows you and the other players to sort of dictate that, trying to go against each other. Maybe you think, well, I need to end this game a little bit faster, or someone wants to slow it down a little bit. You can sort of control that. I like that. In Parks you can as well, of course, a little bit. But in this turn structure does mean that it has a little bit more. It is still a known end, but you don't have as much control over it, I would say. Obviously in Trails, where you have a bit more control of when it ends, and it's a more known end. Like, you know, okay, now next 3 people to hit their game is over. So if I want to get these resources and get that card, I need to hold it the fuck up. So I do like that. Maybe I do a tabletop comparison between the two to talk about specifically what I like more. I'm going to try and not do that in this game here. Of course, taking pictures is a little bit different. I do like this little thing with collecting the birds and trying to score most. It is a hidden sort of scoring, whilst everything else in Trails is very out in the open. And is their way of hiding some of it, which I think is a really good idea. You should hide some of your scoring opportunities until the end, so you can sort of surprise some people with what you've scored and how you've scored. So yeah, but that's all there is to talk about in gameplay. So let's talk about components. And well, first of all, components are good. It is such a small game. The cards are good quality. The what do you want to call them? The road tokens, whatever, are good, thick, they're good quality, you feel it. The little meeples are brilliant for such a small game. It's incredible to get that. Then you have the little wooden cubes, which are little wooden cubes. I don't think you can go very wrong with that. But the components in here are brilliant. Brilliant. I really like it. And I think Keymaster, at least in Parks and in the Trails games, they've really nailed doing the components. Why, I don't know what's happening to me, honestly. Really nailed doing the components, beautiful, and the artwork is, again, this continues the brilliant artwork by Henry Audubon. I don't know. Perhaps it is actually not easy to see who the artist is. This is Henry Audubon. It doesn't matter. It's beautiful artwork. Again, incredible artwork. It's just really nice to just see the artwork, and it's so beautiful. It's sort of simplistic, but still deep, and you know where you are at if you know the areas. Some of the areas I don't. Some of them I do. And it's just incredible. Incredible artwork. Always my compliment to this. Really beautiful. So, does it lie to you? 2 to 4 players, ages 10 and up, 20 to 40 minutes. Well, let's start from the bottom of that. 20 to 40 minutes, I would say, yeah, sure. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, yeah, depending on the play count, of course. Doesn't take long to set up, doesn't take long to play, doesn't take long to take down. It is very much a smaller version of Parks, and is supposed to be faster and everything, and it is faster, and it is brilliant. Ages 10 and up, yeah, okay. I don't know, it is a bit more, you know, in terms of movement and in terms of purchasing and stuff. There's a bit more to keep an eye on, so I don't know if I would go all the way down to 10, perhaps a little bit older than that. But it depends on so many things, as always. Perhaps you have a 10-year-old who could play this game. It is simple, it is pretty simple in the end. I just think there's quite a few things to keep an eye on for a 10-year-old, but it has also been a while since I was 10, so I was just a stupid 10-year-old maybe. 2 to 4 players, no. I would say 2. This is such a small box games, it's quick, it is easy. I would say that 2 players is the sweet spot for this one. It can play at 3 and 4, it works at 3 and 4, it's fine at 3 and 4, but this is very much, to me, a 2-player game. maybe at a stretch 3, but 2 is very much the optimal for this game. Small box games, quickly, little dual guide. It is, to me, that's where it really shines. But it's nice to see that they don't just call it a duel and then say it's a 2-player game, whilst it's a game that obviously can be played at more players than 2. So that's nice that they have that option. And it works perfectly fine at those player counts. Don't be afraid to bring it out on a camping trip where your mom and your dad is out or something, you know, or you and your wife and your son is out. You could easily bring that out. I mean, we brought it camping where me, my mom, and my now wife, my then girlfriend, whatever, played it, and it's perfectly fine at that player count. I would just prefer it to me. That's what this is, the small box games. So yeah, my score of this game, well, I can't remember what I scored Pax. I believe I scored it a 9 out of 10 or something. I mean, this one is just gonna follow foot at a 9 out of 10. It is a really good game. I love the series, I love the artwork. There's very few things that I will complain about within it. I think some of the cards are a little bit too good, and they could appear very early, you know, for one player to then purchase them, and then you don't get a equivalent until very late in the game. And that kind of where luck can a little bit skew the game a little bit. That's sort of what keeps it down at a 9 out of 10. And also the bear in this one, the movement of the bear. I didn't mention that. Not too crazy about the bear. Drags it down a little bit for me, but overall I really like this game. I would easily bring it everywhere and play it many times again. Love Trails. So obviously it's staying in my collection. Yes, it is. That question has very much not become me asking a question, obviously, like, does it like you? But yeah, staying in my collection, 9 out of 10, brilliant little game here. It doesn't take up much space, that's always lovely. So, thank you very much for watching another tabletop reviews from me, Marcus of Denmark. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!